Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. Join me today, sat on the car park of Mossbank Park, which is in Bolton, or Bolton, as they say in this neck of the woods. Now, I've come to Bolton today, Hot Potters, mainly on non-hot pot related business. As I mentioned in my last video, I've had a run of bad luck recently, mainly with things breaking down, one of which has been the washing machine. So I've come to Bolton today to pick up some spares and hopefully get the washing machine back in service once I return back to the homestead. But whilst I was here in Bolton, I thought, why not pop into a pie shop and do a cheeky pie review for you folks, because there are many pie shops in Bolton, probably more than my hometown of Wigan if I'm being honest, and many of them have been recommended to me by you the viewer. So I thought I'll break my Bolton pie shop virginity and I'll pop into one that was being recommended to me quite recently by Mark Lonsdale. He commented in my last video, why not try Hunters the Bakers, which is located on Church Road in Bolton. So it's only been a slight detour to where I've been and picked these spares up today. So here we are. So without further ado, let's jump straight in to this pie review, shall we, and try a mate and prater pie from Hunters the Bakers in Bolton. So, Hot Potters, welcome back, and here holding in my grubby little hands is today's item of comestibility. Da 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 da. Just quickly show you. And this is what we'll be dealing with today. Smells lovely. Fresh out of the oven, that, Hot Potters. I just seem to drop on when I go to these pie shops for just bringing them out. I think that's more luck than judgment, to be honest. I'll just let that cool down and put that down there. And I'll give you a little bit of history of Hunters the Bakers from what I've quickly read online. And they've been in business since 1968, and the bakery has been in the Hunter family since that time. However, over the past couple of years, a businesswoman by the name of Alicia Barton has purchased the business, and she's taken it over and started making a few changes. One of which, she's gone more down the artisan style of bakery. And that, I think, has a bearing on the price of today's item of comestibility, because this item of comestibility in my grubby little hands, Hot Potters, cost me a whopping, get ready for this, £3.30. Ouch, I really felt that one, Hot Potters, and I must be honest, I ordered two. The main reason I normally order two is I have a big appetite, and it's always there, if I make a bit of a cock up during making the video, I've got another pie to go at. I've got a second bite of the cherry, so to speak. But at £3.30, I said no. I did order two, she brought them out. When she said £6.60, I said, I'll just take one at that price, love. And she looked a bit put out. I don't think it was the actual owner, I think it was just a shop girl I was dealing with, but no, at £3.30, I'm sorry, that is at walking out stage. The only reason I've got that is because I want to do the pie review. However, I haven't tasted it yet, but for £3.30, I'm expecting that to blow my socks off, and if it doesn't, then obviously I'll judge it accordingly, won't I? Now, I brought a can of Pepsi Max with me. I'm glad I did, because I now have no money because of the price of that pie. It is one of Mrs H's, but I won't tell her if you won't. I'll just put that there, and we'll take a look at the pie now. As you can see, it comes in a plain white bag, and it comes in its own tin. Now, one of the things that one of the other pie shops that I reviewed, Bowen's Pies, which was in Adlington, he actually came on, the owner, Paul Bowen, actually came on in the comments section. Hello to you, sir, if you're still watching this series of videos. And he stated that the reason his pie cost £3.10, which at that point was the most expensive pie I'd bought for this series of videos, he said they were deeper. I can't really see as that is any deeper or any bigger than any of the other pies that I've reviewed in this series. So straight away you start having to question why it's £3.30. We'll take it out of its tin and we'll do the old Wigan pie hand test. Now, for those of you who don't know what the hand test is, it's said that a Wiganer can eat a pie without a knife and fork. So it needs to be able to hold up and not fall apart. Indeed, it does do that. I'll just quickly do the thumbnail. And we'll get it onto the plate. There we go. And let's cut into it and see what's inside this. I'm expecting blackbirds baked in a pie for this price, I really am. And there we go. Indeed, the smell has hit me. It's really good. It really is. The smell is good. It is chocked full of meat and potato goodness. It literally is. I'll just hold up the other half for you. You know, it's not filled with all that, so yeah, you know, I can see that. You've not skimped on any ingredients as such. Is it worth almost £1 more than I normally pay? Well, proof of the pudding is always in the tasting, isn't it? Definitely a nice taste to it, that. So Mark, you're right on that. They are good pies. However, I don't know when you last went there, and I don't know what your idea of cheap is, but £3.30 is not cheap for me. Not when I've paid £1.80 a pie in my last video. But yeah, there is definitely a fantastic taste there. There is nice seasoning in it. There is a little bit of a peppery kick to it, but not too bad. As many of you know, I don't like peppery pies. But I can't put it down, Hot Potters. Which is a good sign. And the meat, I'll just show it you again there, hold it up to the camera. As you can see, it's good quality meat. So they've not skimped on ingredients. However, Hot Potters, just pause for dramatic effect. A quick swig of the old Pepsi Max. The question is it worth paying that extra £1? Now, going back to Paul Bowen, Bowen's Pies, one of the things he brought up as well was the cost of living. And he said, you know, that he has to pay more for gas and wage bills, etc, etc. And as I pointed out to him, also the customer is facing these price rises. So, you know, it's not like it doesn't affect the customer on the other side of the counter. He then went on to say that he produced quality pies, which is what Alicia Barton's done of Hunter's Bakers. And I retorted with, the vast majority of builders and white van men are not interested in the fact that you source your ingredients locally, or that the fair trade, or whatever other green label and gimmick you want to put on your products. They're not interested that your flour is only milled on a full moon during the solstice by 21-year-old golden herd virgins. All they want to know is the price of your pie, and if they walk in and say £3 odd and that way on, they're just going to turn to the mate and say, fuck that, there's a Greggs down road. And that's what they'll do. At £3.30, there are some chippies that add another couple of quid, or a £1.50, something like that, you can have a pie and chips meal. And that is where these sort of shops, the artisan style of bakery, are falling flat. I do not understand what they're trying to aim for, because they're certainly not aiming for passing trade. So that's that said on it. The pie itself, I cannot fault it. And if Alicia Burton is watching this video from Hunter's Bakers, please come on and comment and explain why your products are so expensive, because as you'll see if you watch this series of videos, I've been able to find pies. Mrs. Gents over in Standish, £1.60 a pie. Brilliant pies, fantastic, really tasty. Handley's Bakers over in Chorley, £1.98. Blackburn's, in my last video, £1.80 a pie. Admittedly, not as big as this one, but again, is that a quid's worth more in size? I don't think so. That said, I cannot fault the pie itself. It is tasty, it is chock full of quality ingredients. And as I said, I can't put it down. However, due to the cost, I can't recommend it. I'll be as fair as I can with this one, Hot Potters, and I will rate it 3.5 pies. And that is based on the pie itself. What has lost it a lot of marks is simply the fact that it costs so much. £3.30. You know, I definitely won't be going back in an hurry, simply because of the price. They do, apparently, in the price list, one of these large meat and potato pies for £35. Now, I've no idea how big it is. I would hope it would be the size of a football pitch for that. I really would, but no. Sorry, Mark. Thank you for the recommendation. I don't know when you last went in, but certainly, by my standards, that isn't cheap. It's well and truly smashed Mr. H's glass ceiling of £2.50. Anyway, I've enjoyed the pie. I've enjoyed coming out here. Don't let it put you off, this review, but just be aware you're not going to get much change out of a father. Anyway, Hot Potters, I'll leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed this review. I'm going to head off back to the old homestead now and fit these parts to my washing machine and get over the shock of how much I've just paid for a meat and potato pie. Until the next time, from myself, Mr. H, it is bye-bye for now. £3.30, can't believe it.